Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you set 2 of this epic Pro League final between SK Telecom 1 and KT Rolster. And SKT1 is wasting no time in attempting to take a lead in this series, try to establish a stranglehold. They are going to send out their second ace, Bisu, the great Bisu, the member of TBLS. He is going to be going against, who do we have here for KT Rolster? It's going to be a Zerg CrazyHydra. So this is actually perfect for Bisu. This map is going to be alternative, which has been a pretty good map for top Protosses in Pro League so far. It's been very good, actually, and in my opinion, watching games against with good Protoss players have done very, very well on this map, and nullifying Zerg's attempt to take third bases and just dominating off of two-base power play. It's been very, very effective on this map, and I think we're going to see something similar, some kind of two-base power build from Bisu, whether that's Reavers or straight to High Templar. Obviously, we have no idea yet, but definitely should be a two-base power build on this map, and should be very, very effective. He's going to be going against CrazyHydra, who has had some good games in the past. And he's been a pretty middling player overall. I think he's in the lower 40s, and he's been pretty consistently in that area, in the lower 40s, but a decent player nonetheless for KT Rolster to send out as they save flash and stats for the later parts of this series. And it's really an interesting divergence of strategy here. We've got KT saving their ace players, their top two players, stats and flash for the end of the series, whereas SKT1 just coming out here right away with their two-headed ace, saving only Best for later. Best is really the only top player left after Bisu. You can make a case for S2, who has played fantastically and in recent times, but I mean he's obviously not on the level of even a stats or something like that in terms of consistency and longevity. How long has S2 been doing this? Only a couple months. Has he really been a high quality player? If he keeps it up, he can definitely get there, but as of now, you've got to say that really Best is the only top-notch player left for SK Telecom 1 as the series progresses. So Bisu's going to need to come out with a win here, take that 2-0 lead, and count on his team to get 2 more wins and avoid, more than anything else, what are they looking to avoid is an ace match against Flash. And you heart Bisu. That is Bisu's fangirl club right there. You can see that little area is going to be Bisu's fangirl clubs. There will be a lot of high-pitched screaming and squeals coming from that area as every move Bisu makes, every time he kills a drone, every time a DT kills anything, they will go crazy, the Bisu fangirls. There's the Bisu probe harassing this drone line right now. We did see CrazyHydra take that base at the 9 o'clock first, so he's going to take that. That's good. He's going to take his third base first, just because you need that time that the creep colony there. This actually serves two purposes. One is that it serves that purpose of getting that colony, that creep developing, so that way, if necessary, he can get down creep colonies quickly. But on the other hand, it also stops the Bisu probe from harassing him and stopping him from taking his natural expansion, which would obviously be very, very annoying to him. 6 Zerglings are out for CrazyHydra, going to force Bisu back here, and Bisu already has cannon up, a gateway warping in, should have I think he had an assimilator going now as well, and that probe looked like it was about to get trapped, but no, it's a Bisu probe. It is not a regular probe. Bisu probes do not get trapped in Brood War, and here comes the probe once again, going to go to that 9 o'clock position, going to see that base, so he knows where the third hatchery is. It's basically where Zergs have always been taking the third hatchery, but it's always good to confirm, make sure that you know what your opponent is doing for sure. That's what Bisu was doing, and there's the Cybernex core as well for Bisu, as another fan girl covers her eyes, but you're going to miss a moment of Bisu probe action. You can't miss that. You never know what this probe is going to do. Would you be shocked if this probe killed a Zergling? Really? It would be amazing, but would you be truly shocked? Of course not. Come on, it's freaking Bisu. Of course he could kill a Zergling with a probe. He could do anything with. Oh, never mind. Come on, Bisu. As I'm building up your probe, you can't lose it. Come on. Well, now I just look retarded. Oh well. Anyways, Bisu does have that Cybernex core going. I mean, you saw actually he has no pylon in his main, which is actually interesting. Normally you see that pylon go down there pretty early, but because he was able to get that Nexus down so quickly, he can actually delay that pylon, and that actually speeds up some of his other tech for him just a tiny bit. The pylon now was now behind the mineral line there as he starts putting up a Stargate here as well. So he's going to start getting that Corsair going. We'll see if the Citadel of Adun should come down pretty quickly, unless he's going to go Reavers, in which case we might see a robotics facility, which would be very, very interesting. and we're just trying to scout out what CrazyHydra is going to do. What is his build going to be? Another Bisu probe out now, scouting around. And one of the cool things about the probe scout is if you can keep it up, if you can continuously maintain the probe scout going through the bases, you can actually, with your first Corsair, not bother scouting, because you've seen what there is. It's close enough. You can actually avoid scouting with that first Corsair. You can just go right after Overlords, and sometimes you can actually get that second Overlord before a Spire and a Scourge come out and things like that. So it is kind of an important little advantage that you can get with that probe if you get an efficient scouting on. However, it does look like CrazyHydra is going to be giving us some cheese today. Going to be going for a 3-hatch Hydra break here, and he's going to try and take Bisu down very, very quickly. He's got that second extractor going, probably just to get enough gas to pump out enough upgrades and Hydralisk for a little while. I can't imagine him staying on that unless he's going to maintain unless he's going to transition out of 3-hatch Hydra into something else. But it is going to be 3-hatch Hydra opening for now, and that first Corsair is going to kill off an Overlord. And he actually did not scout the main, so I don't think he knows that this is coming, but he wants that Overlord kill, and he has got it right there. The Overlord does go down. Now he should go into the main and scout out what's coming his way, and that is the Hydras. Now he sees that Hydra. Now he should know immediately what's coming his way. Sees the no hatcheries, so now we're going to hopefully get a look back at the natural expansion of Bisu and see a couple more cannons coming up, which is basically what he needs. He needs a couple more cannons. There we go. There is another cannon coming up. There's the robotics facility is completed. Looking for the support bay to see if he's going to go for Reavers, which basically he has to go now. He doesn't have time to get enough Zealots, doesn't have time to get another gateway or anything like that to pump out enough Zealots to really deal with this. So he's going to have to get that support bay. There it is. And he is going to, going to depend upon Reavers to defend against us. So until that Reaver comes out, though, Bisu is somewhat vulnerable. On the other hand, though, CrazyHydra is very vulnerable to this Corsair play, because if his Hydras are not at the front dealing damage, then he's not going to really be able to do a whole lot with this 3-hatch Hydra play. It ends up becoming a very ineffective build. On the other hand, if he keeps all of his Hydras up in the front, then his Overlords are at risk. So kind of a balancing act that CrazyHydra is going to have to hit. He has managed to take down Bisu's first gateway. I don't know if Bisu has another one. I almost called him something weird. Bisu does not have another gateway. He is building a couple more inside of his main. It looks like his Forge is going to go down as well. Another Overlord going to go down for CrazyHydra. Looks like the Forge is going to fall. There it goes. We saw a few more cannons placed down hurriedly by Bisu, just trying to take advantage of as much time with that Forge as he could, and he's got a lot of cannons there. Actually, he's also getting 4 gateways, but a lot of cannons, and that's really good for him right now. Those 5 cannons, it looks like 2 and 2, 6 cannons should be a solid number, particularly with that first Reaver already out, and these Corsairs just looking for Overlords, probably trying to make it so that way, if there is a lurker development to this build, that he can pick off enough Overlords that his observers can remain effective. That's kind of that's how I'm reading this right now, is that he's looking to pick off observers, trying to make it so that way he doesn't lose to lurker Scourge, or lurker, well, not Scourge, but lurker anti-obs play, which is very just really annoying as a Protoss player. Lurker and Scourge, or Lurker and Hydra to take out obs is just very, very painful. And still has these 3 Corsairs, still pumping them. Well, actually, no, I don't think he is pumping any more Corsairs. I thought he might have been, but it doesn't look like he is. He just got these 3 Corsairs. Yeah, he is pumping. And continuing to try and maintain his borders against all of these Overlords. There are a lot of them. Does he have Overlord drop? Maybe. There is a shuttle out with that Reaver inside, so we will be able to move. Yeah, he does have drop, so we will be able to move troops, move that Reaver in and out of his base, which is really, really important. And these Corsairs are going to pick off this Overlord. Only 2 Hydras getting dropped off, so they will get cleaned up very, very easily. Some more Hydras and Lurkers this time coming into play at the bottom of Bisu's base. Does he have an observer out yet? I don't know. I don't believe so. So he's going to be playing very, very hyper defensive right now. Going to have to be very, very careful, continuing to use these Corsairs to try and keep Overlords back. Yes, he does have an observer. Fantastic. He does have an observer. And there's the Reaver going to be able to do it. Wow, targeting the Zergling instead of the Lurker. There's a bad move. Does eventually take down that Lurker. And more Overlords coming into play here. Corsairs try to pick off as many as they can before they can place all of their units. And it looks like most of the units have actually gone down in quick succession due to that Reaver and the Zealots that were brought into play here. So Bisu doing a fantastic job right now defending. Has managed to keep his borders relatively clean despite all of the drops. He has not lost a lot of probes. Has not lost an untoured amount of units doing a fantastic job right now of defending. These units are being dropped in, but overall, not taking a whole lot of damage here. And that one Hydralis left, once again, just going to be a nuisance, but not going to be able to do much of anything. Not enough Hydralis at the front to really break the 6 or so cannons that are there. Wonder if Bisu should have a second Reaver out, so probably that second Reaver sitting at the natural expansion just in case CrazyHydra decides to do something crazy, like drop the main and push the front at the same time. He will have a Reaver at both locations, so very, very smart play there by Bisu. He is getting a Citadel of Aduna as well, needs to get that Zealot speed, needs those Zealot legs up. There's reach for KT Rollster. I believe he actually is the captain of KT Rollster. I'm not positive on that. Could be, yeah, I think it is. Reach is the captain of KT Rollster, looking on as CrazyHydra tries to take this game down with drop play. Unfortunately, this is all scouted out. CrazyHydra needs to do these drops from multiple angles. Needs to hit 2 or 3 different areas of Bisu's base at the same time, I think, to be really effective here. And here come the Corsairs coming back into play here, going to pick off some more Overlords, as everything's already been picked up in those Overlords. So he's going to have to drop some Hydras down in order to keep his Overlords alive. So the Overlords do look like they're very, very full. We do have a pretty significant drop here, and Corsairs coming in here going to try and just delay this drop right now, taking pot shots, and eventually when this Overlord drop does come in, looks like he might be coming in now. There will be some damage Overlords, so he's got to be very, very careful on how he does this. He needs to split up his Overlords, otherwise those Corsairs could pick off a lot of Overlords very, very quickly. So something to watch out for CrazyHydra, as he does look like he is going to go for this drop in some form, and he has an observer there as well, so he is scouting all of this going on. He knows exactly what's going on, and just is very, very prepared for it. But we do see CrazyHydra starting to split up his Overlords. This is what I was saying he should do, and he's going to try and hit the natural expansion, but there is a Reaver there, remember, and could have some great Lurkers here, though. If they can drop a couple Lurkers in this spot, could do a ton of damage. There is an Observer there, is a Reaver there as well. And there's the Reaver being shot out, the Scarab being shot out. But those, oh wow, those Lurkers doing tons of damage. There's no way that, that Bisu was going to get any probes out of there. Too many Lurkers dropped in there, so doing a ton of economic damage. Here comes some more Lurkers coming into the main, trying to do some more economic damage, and they do some more economic damage, taking down a bunch more probes there at the main. So Bisu has lost a lot of probes here. Looks like he's lost about 15 probes right now in this game due to those 2 fantastic Lurker drops. So CrazyHydra doing a very, very nice job there. One thing he has to watch out for is that the army of Bisu is growing. He's gonna have to do some nice ob sniping. If you can do some nice ob sniping, a limited number of Lurkers will be enough to stop Bisu's push out. Eventually here, pretty shortly I would think, with his limited economy, Bisu's going to have to push out, and it does look like he's going to do that right now. His shuttle out there is actually going to get picked off with the 2 Reavers inside. One Reaver does get dropped off, gets 1 good Scarab off, but that is it. And here come the rest of the Zealots, going to try and come in with an Observer, going to try and pick off some Lurkers here. And I think CrazyHydra detects that this is going on. Maybe I think he actually is going to try and pick up the Observer. Does manage to pick it off. Here comes some Corsairs trying to pick up the Overlords. One of the Observers does go down. No more Observers out for Bisu. There's the Observer back in the natural expansion, but unfortunately no more Observers out in the field for Bisu. So Bisu in a little bit of trouble here, as CrazyHydra does have a decent contain going on here, as well as a good number of units, but he does not have that 3rd gas. Doesn't look like he has high tech going. Doesn't even look like he has a 4th hatchery going. So CrazyHydra still does have some weakness in his play right now. CrazyHydra coming in for another drop, and this one was probably not very wise, losing all those forces and getting very little for it. And all these Overlords now caught off guard by the Corsairs, and the Corsairs doing so much damage with their +1 weapons, pick off a ton of Overlords. So that is actually kind of a game changer. Actually picking off all of those Overlords is going to limit significantly, particularly with just 3 hatcheries, going to limit significantly CrazyHydra's ability to produce more units, produce more Lurkers. So he's going to have to depend upon ob sniping here. He has those 3 Lurkers as well as these Hydras. Going to have to keep the Hydras alive long enough to try and ob snipe, and that is going to be a huge deal here. And where is the Observers? Where are the Observers? Looks like there's one that is going to stay alive, and he is going to clean up the field. Bisu is going to clean up the field and is going to head towards that 9 o'clock position. And it's actually going to be GG from CrazyHydra. Nothing left in the tank, not able to produce any more units despite that fantastic economic harassment. Just lost too many units in all of those jobs, lost too many Overlords, not able to maintain enough of an army to take down Bisu. So Bisu and Fantasy give SK Telecom 1 the 2-0 lead in this series as we head on to set 3, and what has been a very, very entertaining couple sets already. This Pro League final is not disappointing at all. The players we expect to win are winning, but it has come in some very, very enjoyable games. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We're going to head on to set 3 and continue this ball rolling. Let's keep going. Let's keep making some more fantastic StarCraft games. I hope this never ends, and I hope we keep getting quality games like we have been getting so far.